Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you tips to master the law of attraction. If you're looking into the law of attraction, it's definitely one of the best things that happened in my life. Going back a year and a half ago, before I decided and before I was actually able to create a full-time income business on the internet, I was struggling for about 2.5 years with online business and with life. I was behind on my bills, I was behind on life, and my dreams, my goals, my aspirations. It just sucked. Nothing was going my way. I wasn't able to spend time with my family, and what ended up happening was I stumbled across The Secret first. I stumbled across The Secret, then Abraham Hicks, stumbled across Bob Proctor, of course, who's in The Secret, and started talking about how you can create paradigm shifts, how you can create your thoughts and turn into things, and how you can really get the universe to move out of your way and get things coming to you really quickly. And at first I actually brushed it off. Okay, I had an ego, I brushed it off, I didn't believe in it, I thought it was rah-rah, and that's what really happened. And then a couple weeks later, I had my brother and I had a couple other people through the grapevine share with me The Secret again, and I had watched it, alright? And I watched it again a second time, and then I watched it a third time. And with Bob Proctor and everything that he shares in there, and with all the other actors and everyone else who's talking about all the other experts on psychology and success, alright, when I watched that movie for the third time in a row, my paradigm literally shifted. It shifted because I had previously thought that, you have to go to work, you have to, work your way up the corporate ladder, you got to work 80 hours a week, and then save up, your money that you're making to eventually buy a house, to eventually do the things that you want to do, which you probably can't afford to do. I thought that's the way life was. And people who are successful and people who are like millionaires doing the things that they wanted to do, well, you have to be brought up in family that way, or you have to have a God-given talent of a beautiful voice or play an instrument, which, it's your choice to play an instrument or not, so I guess that's a little bit different. But I was before brushing that stuff off, and what ended up happening was when I stumbled across The Secret, the movie, which if you have not seen it, by far one of the best movies out there, everything started to change for me. I started to question, why I was working this job still. I was working as a baker in a restaurant, all right? And I started to question, why it's been taking me so long to do what I wanted to do and what I could do to get there. And then what happened was really funny. Everyone talks about habits and habitual patterns, how they can change your life using the law of attraction, all right? If you want to use the law of attraction, you got to make it a habit, all right? You can't just, sit in your chair, and you can't just think about, things that you want, and you can't just look on YouTube and Google at videos of people living the lifestyle that you want, and then you just kind of do it the next day again. You just kind of watch other people's lives, and you hope and dream of this one day mystical, magical, fantasy that's going to come true and going to become reality in your life. And I think this is a big problem with a lot of people when it comes to trying to master the law of attraction. They visualize, they see it, they don't really believe in it, but they see it happening, they want it to happen, but they never take the serious positive action that they need to obtain it, all right? And what happened to me was I knew that subconsciously I was screwing myself over. Subconsciously, I realized I'd been brought up with a family that I love so dearly, but, we've been brought up, or I'd been brought up in a family where, we're always saving money, we're always complaining about what we can afford and what we can't afford. And, I love my family to death, but I was brought up in those circumstances, in that situation. And what ended up happening was after I watched The Secret, I realized that I could change everything in an instant just by changing the way I thought. Just by changing the way I thought, and I could really tap into the law of attraction in a whole nother way that I'd never been using it before properly. As you see, most people in the mornings, they get up, and before they get up, they hit the alarm clock off their phone, alright, and if I had my phone by me, I would show you, kind of impersonate it, but they do that, and then they dread what their day is going to be like. I don't know if you've ever done that before. I know I did this when I had a job a year and a half ago. I would just dread, even before going to work, if I worked like an evening shift, I would dread and imagine what the shift was going to be like. I would actually imagine that shift and what it was going to be like before I even got to the shift, and I would be setting myself up for failure. And everyone else out there, I've noticed, they set themselves up for failure, and you get what you expect, okay? What you expect, what you focus on, alright? Where your energy goes, your focus goes, and where your energy goes, that's what you're going to get in return, alright? And every time I would wonder why my day at my work, just sucked. I would wonder why it wasn't enjoyable. And that's because that's where my energy was going. I predetermined the outcome of what I wanted, all right, of what I didn't want, which was what I got, okay? And what ended up happening was I just decided to change that. And it takes 21 days to form a habit. So I knew to form a habit of how to properly use the law of attraction, all right, was to get very crystal clear on what I wanted. And my clarity was leaving that job. My clarity was building a business online to leave that job. My clarity was being successful enough online to quit my job. It was really coming back to success online and quitting my job. That is what I wanted. And what did I start to do? Well, instead of waking up in the morning or before I go to my shift in the evening, dreading what it's going to be like, I would imagine myself as soon as I get up in the morning, I would close my eyes and I would stay, with my eyes closed for 10 minutes, breathing in and out. I would have a timer, all right? And it can be a little bit more than 10 minutes, but I would imagine myself being able to quit my job. I would imagine myself being successful on the internet, what it would feel like, and I started to taste it, smell it, touch it, hear it. I would imagine myself in that environment and the words coming out of my mouth, approaching my employers, all right, my managers, and telling them, I'm done, I'm not working here anymore, I'm sorry, I got bigger things I got to do. I would imagine myself doing this, and what ended up happening was, on the side of working the job as a baker, for a couple months, all right, visualizing this after 21 days, I started to believe it, all right? After 21 days of practicing that, I started to believe that I could actually do it. At first, I was chicken, all right? I wanted to quit, but I didn't believe that I could because I didn't believe I could build a business online. But what ended up happening was after day 21, all right, I started to believe I could. So then what I did was, on the side of working my job, on my shifts when I was on break, all right, I would start searching for ways and means to actually build a business successfully online. And it didn't come easy, it didn't happen overnight, but after a couple months of searching on the internet, I stumbled across some information, tried some things out, some things worked, some things didn't work. Things that did work involved, bugging your friends and family, which I didn't want to do. All right, I kept going and hitting these roadblocks and walls that would have, immediately stopped some people, but I broke through them and I kept breaking through these walls. And I eventually came across a mentor. I came across a person who was building a business and an income on the internet, traveling, not putting their little girl through daycare, being able to do the things that they wanted to do. And I began to model and copy and implement exactly what they started to do. And I applied it in my life. 3 months later, I went from broke, busted, disgusted as a baker in a restaurant to creating a full-time income business on the internet, which is not average, not typical, obviously not guaranteeing you results, but if you get anything out of this, it's that if you want to master the law of attraction, the best tip I could give you in this video is get crystal clear, have clarity on what it is that you want. From that point on, once you have clarity, take action. You're not going to know what you need to do. You're not going to have a crystal clear roadmap on how you're going to get there, and that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Once you believe you can achieve it, all right, your thoughts can become a reality. It's funny how it works that way. The universe literally, and I noticed this was every successful person that I saw in The Secret, and also people who have used the law of attraction. I noticed that they all say, how they got really crystal clear and how the universe kind of opened up for them and it gave them more than what they were expecting. I always realized this with a lot of successful people, and it was because they got very crystal clear and believed that they could achieve their outcome. They believed it, all right? And belief takes about 21 days to build up through repetition. It takes practice. All right, and I knew that, so I practiced it for 21 days. And then what did I do? I took action. I didn't know what I needed to do or how I was going to do it, but I started searching on the internet and searching and searching and searching, trying things out that didn't work, led me to a dead end, started searching more, and then I finally came across a person and I was able to break through. So guys, if it worked for me, it can definitely work for you. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I put it together for you. And if you want to learn more information about how I've been able to build a business and income on the internet and how you can use this same system and get around the same community that I got around to do this too, connect with me on my site. It's 123marketingtips.com. The link will be down below, and I'll see you guys on the beaches of the world. Take care. Have an awesome one. If you have any questions on this, comment below. I will get back to you as soon as possible, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.